I started talking about moderation. Babun fil iqtisadi fi ta'ah. The concept of moderation in worship. I mentioned yesterday that in the last chapter that we were talking about before Ramadan, we saw this concept and notion of the Prophet ﷺ giving options. Okay? Giving options upon certain requests. Now, having options means that something is convenient. Okay? When you give someone options, that means you're trying to make it easy for that person. You're trying to make it convenient for that person. Okay? Not necessarily trying to confuse that person. So likewise, the Prophet ﷺ, through many of his teachings and instructions, gave options. If you don't have the money, then put in the work. If you don't have the work, then it got down to a point where smile, and it even got to a point where, okay, if you can't do anything, just don't be bad to people. تَكُفُّ شَرَّكَ عَنِ النَّاسِ فَإِنَّهَا صَدَقَةٌ. Don't extend evil to people, and that will be your sadaqah. Okay? So the absence of any negative vibe or negative demeanor or action to someone, even that has a positive reaction on a person's spirituality. When we hear the term moderation, okay? When we hear the word moderation, first let's go into the definition of moderation. Moderation means to avoid excess and extremes. Okay? When you take out the intensity from something, that is called being moderate. Okay. When we hear the term moderation, we automatically, or some of us, or at least myself, we assume that moderation, it means to scale back. Don't do so much. Right? We just all came out of Ramadan. Now it's time to be moderate. Don't do so much. Don't read so much Quran. Don't pray so much. Don't fast so much. Don't do this so much. Okay? So a lot of times we assume that it means to scale back, not to do a lot. Moderation is not about doing a lot or doing less. Moderation is not about doing more or doing less. Moderation is about recognizing and understanding one's capacity. It's about understanding one's threshold. So there is no one-size-fits-all gauge for what is moderation. Okay? So for example, moderation is a concept that's not just in worship, but moderation is something that is in every aspect of our lives, or is encouraged in every aspect of our life. For example, we always hear this, and I hear it a lot, that we should eat in moderation. Okay? We should eat in moderation. Now, that has a different definition for everyone. Like yourself, you played football, right? For college. So, you had to maintain a certain caloric intake, right? People who are athletes, who are in professional sports, they can't get by eating 1,500 or 2,000 calories. They will die, literally. They have to eat how much? They have to consume, what's the minimum? 3,500 calories a day, okay? Anything less than that, is extreme. Now, me and Brother Jamshed, if we eat 3,500 calories a day, that is what? That is excessive. That's not moderation. And if you go to the Cheesecake Bistro and you have one of their pasta dishes and the appetizer and the dessert, you have easily gone into the 3,000 calorie range. Easily. Right? So moderation is relative. Okay? And inshallah, we're going to visit these concepts. Like for example, Uthman radiallahu anhu, for him to knock out one recitation of the Quran every day, for someone like me, that would be considered excessive, right? But for them, it wasn't. So it's about, moderation is about recognizing and understanding what your capacity is, what your threshold is, and to take, it's like a tension relief valve, to take out the intensity in whatever you do, regardless of how much you do it. So inshallah, we will visit these concepts in the light of the many ahadith that Imam Nawawi rahimahullah has provided for us in this chapter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us moderation in everything that we do. Jazakumullahu khair. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.